This is my circuit. That's a heater for a mirror. It's a demister. So there's the mirror right here, and there's the control. This right here is, as you can see, it's a Walgreens, I don't know, $25 heating pad, meant for heating your back, sore leg, sore arm, that type of thing. There's 3 settings, low, medium, high. As you can see, the button is not there anymore. What I'm doing is I'm using the Arduino UNO inside here with a couple of relays. I'm going to open it up and I'll show you the circuit to switch on the heater. And the heater is located behind the mirror. I'll back off a bit. That's the mirror. So you can see it has a nice frame, thick frame. And so I took the back off and installed the heater on the back. In the middle, right about here, there's a LM34 temp sensor. And up top on the right corner, I'm going to show you a picture of that a little later. There's the humidity sensor and the ambient room temperature sensor. And so here, as you can see, is displayed the heater temp, the heater state, average humidity. That's over a 10-minute period. And then the humidity, current humidity. So you can see that the current humidity is not far off from the average humidity, 44.5, 45.8. So what I do is I have it set so that when the current humidity reaches an elevated state of 1.1 times the average humidity of the last 10 minutes, it will switch the heater on. What I'm going to do is run the shower, and I'm going to pause the video while I do it for time's sake, and then I'll show you what happens as the humidity rises. Okay, the shower has been on now for about a minute or so, and as you can see, the current humidity is up to 53.7, and now it switched the heater on, and it's going to so basically those 2 relays switch this on and to the high setting. I have 2 relays, one for the main power, and then one to actually select 1, 2, 3 to get to the high setting only. And the high setting is the only one I'm using. I'm going to pause for a bit. Okay, so wait a little more here, and you see the average humidity is slightly rising, but the current humidity is up to 72 from the upper 40s. And let's see here, the heater temperature. We can see the room temperature goes up a little. You can see the heater temperature start to rise. It was around in the 70s, and now it's 78. Okay, and so now what we got is the heater temperature up to 91.9. If you just keep it on, it'll go up to about 110. And as you can see, the heater, you can see clearly where the heater pad is, right in the middle there. I couldn't really find a heater pad to fit this mirror. Yeah, you could have 2 if you wanted, but I really it wasn't that important to me. Really, you want to, if you're going to shave, you don't need the whole mirror to do that, or just get ready. So that is plenty of space. Let's go back to the settings here. So the heater is still on. the average temperature is still humidity is still rising. You see the humidity is still staying around the 70s, in the 70s. Now, what I found is, if you open the door, once you're done with the shower, once you open the door, the humidity starts to decline quite quickly. Either that, or if you have a fan on. I didn't turn the fan on just for demonstration purposes. So, as you can see, 95, in the low 90s is plenty. As far as the temperature to defog the center part of the mirror. If it gets to 110, eventually it would actually do the whole defog the whole mirror. So I'm gonna open this thing up and show you what how I built the circuit, and show you the programming as well. Alright, one more thing before I show you the circuit. Just wanted to show you that it turned off and what state it did. So 53.7, you can see the average over the 10 minutes rose, and then the current humidity fell to 56. So around the 1.1 times the average humidity, that's when the heater will kick off. And as you can see, the mirror is fully demisted. So I'll go ahead and show you the circuit. So as you can see, it's a pretty basic circuit. Here's the LCD up top, using I2C bus for that. It's a 16:2 LCD, standard LCD for the Arduino. This is the Arduino UNO. This is the main relay for the heater. Then there's a secondary relay for the switch that will toggle 3 times. So this engages when the heater turns on, and then after that it pauses, and then you'll hear 3 clicks. That's this relay, and it's switching the power switch from low to medium to high. The reason I don't have just one relay is for safety, just in case I have a defect in one of my relays. It won't just stay on while we're not at home and just get an overheat and crack the mirror, or, well, I don't know if it would crack the mirror, but it would, it's not ideal. So that's just for safety. And then this goes to the heater inside the mirror. This is the mirror over here. So here's the heater inside the mirror. I'm using 120 volts on my line. We have the humidity and ambient temperature sensor, and that's digital, so I have it on digital pin 4. And then the red is 5 volts, the green is ground. Okay, the white one here is A0 is going to the internal temperature sensor that tells me what the heater temperature is at. Again, I'm using the Arduino UNO for this project. Alright, and so I'll go ahead and show you the code. Okay, so using the liquid crystal for the LCD, I2C. Just variables, blah blah blah. Right here, I read the humidity sensor in the setup, and then I put in the array, it's a humidity array of integers, and I read the humidity, the current humidity, into every array location. So the reason I do that on setup is because you don't have a history of the last 10 minutes if you just turn the unit on. And so when you first turned it on, I'll just put the current humidity in, and then it'll run based on that. I found that to be fine as long as nobody's been taking a shower. Then it's fine. So here we read the humidity again. On the read DHT, just a sec, here we go. The read DHT, I actually had some errors, reading errors. Every once in a while, I'd have a negative 999.0 reading come up, and then the next time it'd be fine. So I created a function to read the DHT, and if the reading came back with a negative number, then I read it again. I delayed obviously here, and then I read it again until I came back with a positive number. Now if you do have, in this case, I don't have a maximum amount of reads and then get an error, and that would be ideal, because if it gets stuck in this loop and it can't read the DHT because let's say you have an open wire, it's going to just be stuck. So anyways, so I should if I were going to produce this, then I would probably do just an error code in there, but I do not care. So because I wrote the code, I know what would happen. So anyways, timer. Okay, so I just put some timers in here. What else I got? So this I put here for the average humidity. I test it compared to the current humidity, and this is the 1.11. That's the amount of the current humidity versus the average humidity to turn on the heater. And this is just for displaying the humidity, temperature, and state, as well as average humidity. And down here, these are all just my functions that I wrote for printing and reading the humidity. So it's pretty simple stuff here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, so I opened up the project box here. Just a sec. Okay, there we go. So we got the AT Mega 328P-PU. We got the 2 relays for the heater. This is my 5-volt power supply, and I bought it for, I think they're like $1 a piece from China. This LCD, and I got a on-off toggle switch, 16 megahertz crystal here. That's pretty much it. This guy right here. These connectors I also got from China. Very happy with them. As you can see, it's hard to do with one hand. So I work in appliance repair, and it's pretty much, these are the same connectors that I see in your standard appliances. Sorry about the focusing. It's having a hard time focusing on these. There it is. So, and they're pretty solid. I bought these from Tata Electronics, and very happy with them. This is here's the actual conduit line that goes up to the mirror. So behind the mirror I have this conduit line. There's another connector just like this here and here, which the green is for ground, red is for 5 volts, and then the black was for the humidity sensor data line, and then the white was for the temperature, the LM34 temperature sensor for the heater. So that's pretty much the circuit there. I don't think I left anything out. Just a side note for those who don't know, there's 2 parts to this LCD. The LCD itself here, and it has a bunch of pins and that come up, and this right here is the I2C interface that's mounted here, and that's why we only use 4 wires instead of a ton of wires for the LCD. Saves us a lot of pins, as you can see on the Arduino. I'm really not using a lot of pins. I'm using the blue here. That's pin 15, pin 14. The clock pins is 9 and 10. Or sorry, the crystal pins, 9 and 10, and then ground here is green. The red is 5 volts VCC. Got the pull-up resistor for the reset. These two over here are the clock and data. Pins 27 and 28 are clock and data in that order. And I actually had the clock pin, or sorry, the data line. They were both yellow, so I Sharpied one of them with black marks to identify which one is which. So that's pretty much it. Can't think of anything else. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching the circuit. I hope you learned something from it. If you have any questions, just let me know. I respond to comments. And if you learned anything from this video, which is going on 17 minutes now, it looks like, go ahead and like, and that way it will get spread on YouTube, so other people, Arduino enthusiasts, will also watch it. Thanks.